War Thunder, the best and worst advice.
Welcome back to the channel.
I wonder what kind of diabolical advice, what kind of diabolical animalistic advice he has gotten from War Thunder players.
Guys. So,
what kind of
You know
animals?
from the last video, I'm trying to make a transition from World of Tanks into War Thunder, and it's been quite the experience so
Oh yes, he actually is swapping over to War Thunder full time.
far. I thought, you know, a lot of my skills I had in World of Tanks would translate, and what I have found is some of my best habits in World of Tanks have ended up being some of my worst habits and liabilities in War Thunder, so that has been kind of interesting trying to unlearn some things I've been doing for several years at this point. So, but another thing that's been quite interesting is players have been more than willing to offer advice, even getting in chat with me to explain how some things work, and that's been amazing, to be honest. That is not something that happens in World of Tanks ever. They'll tell you to just dig your own grave before somebody will help you. But with that being said, I want to go over some of the...
I can tell he's not been on the Reddit. I can tell he has not been on the War Thunder Reddit yet.
the best advice I've been given, I think, and that's helped me the most, and some of the worst advice I've gotten. Now, I don't think anybody has given me bad advice intentionally. I think actually the advice, depending on what your goals were for the game, have all been
He's
good.
not on the forums,
But,
I can tell. He's still innocent. He still believes the War Thunder player base is nice. he has not gotten crushed into off spawn because you accidentally MG'd someone.
As a new player getting into the game, I wanted to kind of cover that. And number one on the list is buying a top tier premium tank. This wasn't actually horrible advice in itself necessarily, because you can grind the entire tree from one tank. But it's actually turned out to be quite bad advice because you end up skipping a lot of the game. And what I found is...
I think the only people who should buy top tier premium tanks are people who have already put in a couple of 100 hours and have played of the tanks, right? Like I don't need to play low tier Japan. I don't give a fuck. I'd rather just skip that, right? If I've finished Russia, America, Germany, and Britain, I don't need to play low tier Sweden, right? I'll just skip past that with a premium tank.
Unlike World of Tanks, where basically all the lower tiers are just dead. I mean, if you easily get in bot games if you're playing a tier 5 or lower. Just no one plays those tiers. Actually, all the tiers in War Thunder are played, and you have different people that enjoy different aspects of it, and so the community's kind of strong all the way through, and that's been kind of interesting, and I've actually enjoyed it. So what I've started doing is taking what I think is some of the best advice I've gotten, and that's just enjoy the grind. So right now, you know, I have a lineup that's from 6.3 to...
Enjoy it. I like how he says this. He says this, but his most played tank, by far, is still the T80. He's like, I won't skip anything. I will take my time. I will enjoy the grind. His most played tank is still the T80, and it's not even close.
5.3 with a couple of 5.7s, and you know, reasonably competitive. And you know, I'm trying to get these other tanks kind of...
The ice one is really good though.
BR levels, and keep a even lineup as I go up through the tree. And that's actually been one of the most helpful things to me, is the advice is just enjoy the grind. Some other bad advice I think I've gotten: just play the Swedish line because they have the best in-game tanks.
Dude, I have heard this so much. This is actually real true. This is actually so true. Dude, even in my chat, you motherfuckers have said play Sweden because of the SRBs motivators. You should not pick a tech tree, especially as a starting player, based on how good they are in the end game. That's a horrible advice. But War Thunder players love to give that advice for some reason. It's not just Swedish Glacier though. It's also like, you should play Germany because Germany has good Eurofighter at top tier. Like what? That's like in 8 months. If I play for 8 months, I'll get the top tier. Like, should I play Germany because in 8 months it's not getting friend? No, of course not.
Apparently, this is largely seen as true. Some people probably have
It
different
was more true
opinions
before.
of
It's not
that,
as true anymore.
but here's the thing: I don't really have a connection with the Swedes, and if I was grinding it up, I don't know. Do I really want to just be in the end game? I don't know. You know, a lot of players seem to like that mid tier or early Cold War, and you know, you don't know till you've kind of ground up one of the lines. So currently, I'm working on the German tanks and the Russian tanks, kind of at the same time, kind of bouncing back and forth, just kind of enjoying them as I grind up. And I found that yeah, once you get all the field mods and stuff, they're all pretty enjoyable. So, you know, I don't know what tier.
Yeah, for sure. If you are a beginner player for War Thunder, USA, Germany, Russia. Pick one of those three and just play those. They're the most fleshed out. They have the most variation. They have everything from tank destroyers to light tanks. Or like, yeah, just play one of those. Your first nation you should spade should be one of those three.
BR level is going to be my favorite, but you know, as I make my way up kind of slowly, which I have realized is going to be slow now, I'm just going to enjoy it. So, what's some other good advice I've had? And it's actually the engine sound, and I didn't realize this when I started playing, but because, well, one, I had my engine volume up and the enemy player's engine volume up, and so I couldn't really hear.
You literally cannot pick France or Sweden or Japan as a first nation. If you make an account today, log in, you cannot choose France, Japan, or Sweden. It won't let you because they're so like specialized and specific and weird. You can't pick those nations.
For them over my own tank, but I was reading through the comments and someone said, yeah, turn that all the way down and turn the enemy players up, and yeah, now I can actually hear the enemy tanks coming. I've been able to set up at corners and shoot them as they drive by because, one, I heard them coming. So that's been actually some really good advice. So what's some other bad advice I've been given? One, I made a comment that I thought World of Tanks might have had better graphics. The more I play World of Thunder, the less I think that's actually the case. But I had someone tell me, turn all of the graphics up to max because the game's just more enjoyable to look at and play that way. And at least for me,
dude, playing the game at max settings is so unenjoyable. Getting killed through bushes 4 or 5 times, they're like, okay, just go down to like high or medium high settings, and then it still looks great. You don't get killed through bushes all the time.
Not to be the case, because what I found was all of a sudden I couldn't really see things. Like the shadow quality is a great example, because what happens when I turn it up, you know, some of the rooms and stuff get darker, and what I was finding was happening where tanks were kind of blending in with the background, and that turned out not to be a very good thing when it's
Yeah, but it's not just the grass. It's just not just the grass. It's also like random objects and stuff.
See first, shoot first kind of gameplay. But some other really good advice people gave me is they were talking about the tree range, and they were saying,
like, tree range is really important to get low.
Have a much easier time seeing tanks. That
is tree range also like walls and stuff. Walls and stuff depends on tree range too.
To be true, as well as grass range. I've had people tell me, "Oh, turn the grass down," and yeah, it made a difference. Even so, I've kind of gotten rid of all the shadows that I could, brightened up the map a little bit. It's made it a lot easier to see enemy tanks, as well as, you know, a lot of people recommended removing the grass in sniper mode, which I'd already done. So, all those things actually worked out really well. But yeah, one thing I found trying to play at max graphics while my rig could do it.
Wait, what is this? Holy shit, what? Someone Hatsune Miku-fied American Steamy. What? Quick detour. Mid-video. This is crazy. What? No, it's AI! 100. Oh no. It's AI. I thought it was actually done well. No. It's AI. It's AI. It's, AI Miku American Semi with a red eye.
Turned out not to be the most competitive way for me to play the game.
I
So
saw it on my
what's-
phone. I thought it was actual art. Wait, what's this saying? Pardon por no pedir permiso para usar. I'm sorry I did not permission to use your image, but I love the image and want to see my avatar like this. That's their avatar. Wait, what? Wait, what? That's so steamy. It's Henna05VT. What? I've been jacked off. What is this? What is this?
Some good advice I've gotten. Don't be so aggressive. So this is one of those skills that didn't translate very well from
Don't be so aggressive. He said one of the worst no, wait. Some of the advice I've gotten is don't be so aggressive. In War Thunder, that is a playstyle low. Like, I'm hyper aggressive. That's how I play War Thunder. And I'm relatively successful. So I don't think flat out saying don't be aggressive is correct. Both the being super aggressive and playing defensively and safe and reactively, I guess is the best way. Because there is proactive gameplay that's aggressive, pushing, looking for opportunities, and then there is a reactive gameplays, responding to how the enemy plays. Right. When you're playing aggressive, you're forcing the enemy to be reactive.
from World of Tanks. In World of Tanks, I'm very known for just taking a very aggressive position where I know I'm going to be brawling.
Play aggressive is it is way harder. Playing aggressively is a lot more risky. I think you can get easy kills sometimes, but it's a more risk. You really need to know the maps, the flanking routes, etc.
It out. What I have found in War Thunder is what happen is you end up pushing past your team, and even if you get to knock out a tank, which is there's an if when you do that, you'll quickly get flanked and killed. So definitely being more passive. And what I found is I went from being passive to reading comments and said, oh, you need to camp more. And then I started kind of camping where I didn't get shots. And what I found was there's this middle ground where I do need to advance, but it's kind of slow and methodical with my teams.
Also, in World of Tanks, when you get shot once, you usually don't die, right? You can use your health pool as a resource in World of Tanks. If you get shot in your T-34-85 by King Tiger, you're gonna be dead 9 times out of 10. Right? Like 9 times out of 10, you're just dead in one shot. In World of Tanks, you can use your health bar as a resource and take shots without like instantly dying.
So as my team kind of advances up, I advance with them. And once we've taken an objective, I find a good position that I can kind of oversee it, sort of, or get a line of fire from the routes that they have to kind of take into the objective, and just shoot them as they come in. And that's been one of the things that's kind of helped me the most is understanding what people mean by kind of camping and being patient. And patience has definitely paid off and kind of it's helped me improve. Still not where I'd like to be, but it's getting better. So back to some really positive advice. So one thing I was
yeah, he's moving up. Guys, he's moving up the Yak 9 line. Holy. Another Yak 9K and Jair is in the making. No line, and not too long. We will see a Yak 9K.
struggling with in planes, especially in the realistic mode, was actually dogfighting. I was terrible at it. I couldn't hit anything. And what I had a player suggest I do is go play the arcade version for a bit, and that way I can kind of get an idea of how far I need to lead tanks and not tanks, planes. Sorry, And what I found is actually after, you know, an hour or two of just playing the arcade and air battles, I was able to go into realistic battles, and all of a sudden I could actually score some kills and was getting some hits. And that has actually been pretty good. I'm actually getting,
I
2 to
think
3 kills a match now. And
learning the leads
yeah,
in
I feel
arcade
good
is really
about
smart.
that. So, yeah, that I found, arcade has its place.
you're
I
brand
even
nothing,
found
that's smart.
arcade to be helpful somewhat in the tank version because I could get an idea better how much I need to actually elevate my gun to shoot tanks at a distance. And once I kind of went back into realism mode, that actually kind of translated. I was just looking at a target and I could just kind of visually, oh, he's about X far. I just kind of aim this high and the shell kind of hits. So that's been quite nice, actually, taking advantage a little bit of the arcade and the, almost as a tutorial to get better in the realism mode. So that was pretty good advice. Thanks. So what's some other good advice I've gotten? Don't take so much ammo. I know. Seems obvious. If you've been playing War Thunder for a while, that makes perfect sense. Only take, 16 rounds or so. But in World of Tanks, I've had matches where I literally run out of ammo, and you just carry as much ammo as you possibly can in a tank. Like, you would never consider not bringing all the ammo that you could. So, when I initially started playing, it was pretty common. I was getting the top popped off my tanks, and I was like, wow, these tanks have really weak ammo racks. I just didn't understand. So I actually appreciate people pointing out that
he was carrying ammo for the whole team.
Don't fill your tank with ammo, and you won't get ammo racks. So
he
much.
was carrying ammo for the
Still
whole
get one
team.
shot a lot. Don't get me wrong.
Hero.
But I do survive a lot more than I was for sure. So one thing, a lot of people have been giving me advice on crew skills, and I think all of it makes sense. No one's told me anything I think is wrong. So that's been good. I kind of understand what keen vision is now. Field repairs a little bit better. How tank driving actually kind of works in this game. That's been some people kind of got in chat just to kind of broke it down for me, and it was a lot to take in. But like I said, I've been blown away by all the help and advice people have been giving me trying to learn the game as quickly as I can.
Can you believe it?
Still a very steep learning curve, but yeah, I'm having fun, and I'm not upset at all about making this change. So I look forward to doing some more videos. I probably won't be making any guides for a long time because I'm not good enough to make guides, and I'm not arrogant enough to think that I am. So, but hey, I do plan some.
We're just waiting for his first War Thunder guide. Week 3 learning curve. We'll watch this tomorrow. That's crazy. We are friendly. As he said earlier, guys not interacted with the forums or top tier. Just goddamn. But in top tier, or not in top tier, just higher tier, like anything above like 6.7, if you like crash into your teammates on spawn, it's like 50% if they're gonna just crash into you for the rest of the game. They're gonna push you around for the rest of the game. Like, it might happen. You might just crash into some psychopath. Alright.